Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the following is a prediction for Impact Wrestling's Under Siege, brought to you by the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the Trample Dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his naming van. Now they love him in Japan. No cap. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And we have some special guests tonight. Yes, for those of you wondering, our prediction episode will be joined by our good friends straight out of Kentucky. Everybody, please welcome Drizzy, Black Barbie, and Bernard Minge, collectively known as the Power Ups and Power Bombs Podcast.
Woo!
Yeah.
How y'all doing tonight?
I'm good.
Good stuff.
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing all right today, man.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. Man, fresh off of this week, fresh off of WrestleMania. Now we got a whole weekend of wrestling. I don't know if y'all know this, but we have Impact on Saturday, Impact Wrestling Under Siege, and then we have WWE Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash.
It's backlash. It's just backlash.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
There's nothing.
I know the SmackDown.
There's nothing.
The SmackDown side's gonna kill it. Raw, I'm not too sure about. I don't know. I kind of lost faith in it, and it's sad because we finally get Bobby Lashley, but I'm like, I'm not feeling about that triple threat match. I'm just nah.
It's
But
it hurts. It hurts. Raw hurts.
You gonna say Drizzy?
Yes, it does.
Raw hurts. It hurts.
And then you got Alexa Bliss. She's like going against the whole women's division or something. I don't know what she's doing.
It's all confusing. It's all confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Raw needs improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. Raw needs improvement.
You're being nice. You're being
Right.
But my thing, man, like I'm holding out hope. I'm that last guy, man, because Raw been around since 1993. You know what I'm saying? I remember 1, 2, 3 Kid winning the championship. Like Raw is WWE for me. So and it's been bad. Like I can't sit here and deny it, but it's such of a core to what the WWE represents that I can't. It's like a stepchild, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still it ain't your child, but you want to make sure that child grows and nurtures and be healthy at the end of the day. And that's what Raw is to me. It's been bad. It's been an eyesore. But I just it's been around since 1993. I can't abandon it.
The thing with Vince is that I think he's gotten him and the gang have gotten complacent. And they need to learn how to listen more to the fans. Yes, I understand you are now a publicly traded company. Yes, you have stocks on the stock, shares available on the stock market. But at the end of the day, it's not your committee that puts money in your pockets. It's we the fans. Because if we the fans say next time, WrestleMania, we're not going to WrestleMania. We're going to support, Impact Wrestling and AEW. Forget WrestleMania. And I've done so before. I've had WrestleMania in my own backyard in New Jersey. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go to the indie shows and that's it. They look better. If we decide that, Vince is in trouble. He doesn't seem to get that. I've been to a SummerSlam and I've seen empty seats. And SummerSlam is one of the big four. That was the one in Barclays Center in New York. So, they need to learn how to listen to the fans, and just see who the fans cheer for, who the fans want to be put up there and whatnot. I mean, yes, granted, a lot of wrestling fans can be fickle, but you just gotta listen to the consistency of what they're booing and what they're cheering. Like, okay, they're booing this person, let's turn them bad. They're cheering this person, let's turn them good. They've got it sometimes, but for the most part, they just don't, and they just need to work on that. They'll be fine, if you ask me.
Let me ask you a question, man, because I agree with what you're saying, and I'm 100% for it. But my thing is, who's got to do the listening? Are we expecting the 70-something-year-old Vince to do the listening? Or are we talking Triple H got to get in Vince's ear? I don't believe Vince at this age or where he is, as long as he's been in the business, I don't think Vince is capable of listening. I'm just keeping it real. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Because I want what you're saying to happen, but who are we talking to? Because it ain't Vince. Not at this age of his career. I don't think it's Vince.
Vince is in charge, though.
Yeah, but is he listening? Is he too old? Sometimes you got to put your grandparent in the nursing home. You still love them, but they got to go. Like, you got to move on with your life so you ain't stressed. Vince is that age, man. He ain't listening. So why are we still talking to him?
Because he's the end.
Vince just needs. You see, the problem with Vince. The problem with Vince McMahon, and like I said, I'm hoping Triple H and Stephanie see this and try to hum me down and beat my ass. But my thing with Vince is this: he's been in control since he bought the company. He's never had nobody else, sharing control with him. So, after decades of being in that position of what I say goes, it's kind of hard to give up the reins. So even though in the long run, it benefits him because it's money in his pockets, regardless of who's in control or not, he's still the owner. But I could see it being hard for him to let go. And I can understand where he's coming from. Is it right? No, not really. But at the same time, I mean, you kind of got to see where he's coming from, And plus, I mean, he was born in 1945. Things were different. I can only assume he started watching in like the 50s or 60s, maybe. So I mean, he still may have that, or even the 80s. I mean, the 80s, he was a genius, but I mean,
we're also talking about a guy that doesn't sleep.
They got to work on something.
Yeah.
This guy literally, they joke saying that he eats and breathes and sleeps wrestling. It's not a joke. He really does that.
Like Rob could tell you, Rob, do I not have a open door policy?
Oh yeah.
Even though I have my moods sometimes. I always tell Rob and Kathy, I'm like, if y'all want anybody on this show, let me know, and I will actually, try to get them. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I will send them. And sometimes it's work, and sometimes I'll be like, hey, I tried with this person, they either didn't answer, or they canceled on us, and we're like, yeah, well, they never got back to us. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't look at it as whether it's my idea or Rob or Kathy's idea. I look at it as, a win for Ringside Society. That's what I look at it as, and that's something that Vince needs to learn as well. Yes, you're a leader, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your people are happy and morale is up. You don't want people to just do things because you're the boss. You want people to do things because they respect the man and the title. So that's just my standpoint. How about you, Black Barb? You kind of quiet over there.
No, I was just enjoying the conversation. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Vince has never had anybody to, quote unquote, check him. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to let go. I mean, he seems like he's a control freak already. So, with him, and especially when things happen that's beyond his control, he freaks out completely. So, it's like you're right. It's going to be hard for him to let go. We're going to be seeing them probably bury Vince literally on WWE headquarters parking lot.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, I wish the man a long life. He's an inspiration because I mean, when I turn 75 or 76, if I live that long, I'm still moving like that guy. I mean, granted, I don't want to I don't want to be jumping into rings and blowing up my quads, but you know, I wouldn't mind you know, living and being as active as he is. You know,
I think he's still weightlifting.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he is.
Plus, when you're that age, man, you can't tell. Nobody can tell you nothing. Be like, yeah, do something. Like, nope, I do my own thing. My grandfather, he's 86. He had a stroke 3 weeks ago. Today, he was delivering sheds work. It's like, pop up, man, you need to like slow down. No, he's like, you need to get off my case. You know what I mean? This is what I do. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you know, I don't want no 86-year-old man beating me up. You do your thing. You know, you drop F-bombs on me. Like, all right.
That's one thing. You do not tell old people to stop. That is the biggest thing.
I was like, man, pop up, you got a stroke, man. You got to slow down. You got out of my face. What are you talking about?
My grandfather was 73, and I saw him on a ladder. I'm like, what is he doing up there? But I didn't tell him nothing because I already knew I didn't want that smoke with that man. I'm good. I don't want old people smoke now.
That's right.
You can have that right there. I'm good.
You throw your hands up, man. That's all you can do. But
I see that.
That's the thing. Like for our generation, our grandparents, our parents, they earn that respect to go that extra mile and go do that thing, and they've experienced that. Same thing we sit here and talk about Vince, man. We respect him for what he's done. We respect him for what he's done to the community, what he's done for wrestling. But like, it's when you tell your grandparents that you finna take them shopping and you drop them off at a nursing home and you tell them you're coming back. That's where we at. Is that what we doing to Vince? I'm asking. Is that what we doing?
I'm not doing it to Vince.
Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing?
Nope, I ain't doing it.
Exactly. She ain't finna do it. I ain't finna do it. Cause we know the creative juice is still there, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's the issue I got with it. Like he's too much of a genius. He's a genius in his own right, but he gets in his own way. And where is that detrimental? And where can that help? Where is it helpful? And where is it detrimental? And how much percentage is which? And who tells him when it's 50-50 or when it's 60% detrimental and 40% effective? Who in the business tells Vince McMahon that what he's doing is causing more harm than good? Is it Triple H? Is it his daughter Stephanie? Who? It ain't us.
She might. Stephanie might.
Stephanie might.
But I mean, as much as we sit here and say Vince and the gang don't listen, one of my other biggest concerns is what's going to happen when he passes away. That's the thing what I'm worried about, because I'm like, is it going to be better or is it going to be worse? You know, because now when Vince passes away, it's not just as I think Stephanie McMahon said, and other people have said, it's been rumored that it's not going to be one person up top. It's going to be a whole group of people. So it's like, okay, it's a group effort now making the decisions. Is it going to be beneficial to the company, or is it going to hinder the company? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering too.
It's going to be DX. DX is going to run everything.
That's right.
I mean, that's who's running it now. Shawn Michaels at NXT, Triple H is doing stuff like this. DX running it. Road Dogg was running stuff. He was writing for creative. It was DX.
A man they should have kept on, but they should have let. You see, and that's another thing that with WWE too. Is like they need to look at people, because there's certain wrestlers that need that hand to hold them and guide them along the way in terms of like creativity and so on. And then there's some that just have the knack for, like, you look at guys like Matt Hardy. I looked at some of his ideas. I'm like, this man should have been pushed a long time. I always say, once Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita had that angle, that should have been Matt Hardy's push to a world title. I don't care what anybody says, because he had a gimmick called, I think, the Angelic Diablo, and I'm like, I saw the vignettes and like the artwork he did for him. I'm like, why is this guy not being pushed? And then you got guys like Brian Kendrick and Paul London. I'm like, Vince, you have two guys. Yeah, they're not heavyweights, they're cruiserweights. Why are you not letting these guys do their own thing? And it just like, and London and Kendrick were like one of my favorite tag teams, and it just like baffles me, like even like Cody Rhodes. Like Cody Rhodes is a bit creative too. I'm like, I've seen him do his thing as like the American Psycho gimmick and the dashing gimmick and the Rhodes Scholars. I'm like, they need to let these people go, man. Don't do no creative control with them. Just let them do what they want to do. Have a licensing agreement, and just get this money. You know, let it be a win for WWE. I don't know.
That's WWE for you, though.
True.
They do that. It's hard to say what it's going to be like once Vince is actually gone or out of. I'm not going to say gone because I'm not trying to kill him, but out of power, I guess, is the best way to do it. Like, it's interesting to see what's really going to happen. I truly do believe DX is going to run everything. Road Dogg will probably do SmackDown. Triple H will do Raw. It'll probably be a lot less stressful, and they'll probably simplify it a little bit more. But the first thing that's got to be, Raw cannot be 3 hours anymore.
Hey, real talk, Raw, that's the killer right there. We don't need a 3-hour show. I'm sorry. Anything that's a 3-hour show, and this is what pisses me off with AEW as well too. They're another one, because I don't mind me. I like all wrestling, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna call people out on their nonsense. So there should be no reason why a regular weekly wrestling program, should be anything more than 2 hours. 3 hours. The only thing programming that should be 3 hours is a pay-per-view. That's fine. These are supposed to run a bit longer. AEW has AEW Dark Elevation. Okay. There's supposed to be dark matches. Why do we have a show with dark matches that is more than an hour? That makes zero sense. I understand you're trying to get everybody exposure, but if you're going to go that route, name it something else. Name it AEW. Forget Dark Elevation. Name it just AEW Elevation. The AEW Dark that appears on Tuesday. Call it AEW Extra, because that's what it is. Really, it's extra. 2 hours of what? I mean, they need to, like. There's certain things that should be changed for the better, and there's certain things that should not be changed at all. That's one of them. You know, I mean, I appreciate AEW putting a lot of indie talents on, but there's a certain way to do it. And they're just being a bit, extra, being a bit excessive with, the programming and so on. And I hope they're not trying to compete with WWE, because that would be a bad move. I don't want to see them compete with WWE. They don't need to do that. They need to just focus on being the alternative, and that's that.
Yes, I agree.
100%.
Speaking of alternatives, I brought y'all here for Impact. I appreciate y'all actually, agreeing to come on the show. You guys are the first or the second. Actually, the second, because we had another group. I don't know if you ever ran into them yet. The Good Girl, Bad Girl podcast, Amazing Jay and Keita Hubbard. If y'all haven't heard of them before, y'all should definitely check them out. They're really cool people. We've done a few prediction shows together and whatnot. But y'all are actually the second ever podcast team that we've actually had together, and we've actually been able to have y'all do a prediction show as well. So we have Impact Wrestling Under Siege. I gotta say, man, I don't like the direction Impact is going, man. First they done lost their belts to Finjuice. Now they done lost the belts to Kenny Omega. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to Rich Swann. Rich Swann should not have been that guy to defend that belt against Kenny Omega.
They did all that work to build him up. And they did that. And undid all of it in that loss. Completely undone all the work they did for that.
They should have never had Rich Swann hold that defense. The man who I really wanted to see Kenny Omega fight, the man who I just saw, what's his name? Don Callis backpedal from him because he wasn't listening to his crap, was Moose.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I wanted. That's who I wanted to see.
That's who I wanted it to.
I would have loved Moose. Yeah, that would have been a good show. Moose and Kenny.
Moose should have been that guy.
Yep. Hopefully he wins later.
Moose should be the guy
man.
in Impact.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Moose. He the man.
Yeah,
he
no
goes
disrespect
in that
to
ring
Rich
and
Swann.
dispenses justice. That's what he does.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Rich Swann. Rich Swann is a great athlete. You know, I respect what he's done, but he shouldn't have been in that match. I mean, it should have been Moose. And if it is Moose, I'm hoping that. Well, we'll get into that later, but yeah, I would have liked to see Don Callis tell Moose about one wing inch. And Moose would be like, "What, boy? Phil, get out of here, man." But yeah. So we have the card up here right now, and we have 7 matches. So I'm gonna go around the table and start with you first, Rob, and then we're gonna go over to Drizzy and then Bernard, and we're gonna go the way the screen shows us, and then I'll be the last one to give my my prediction because I'm not that important anyways. I'm just a dude that's put us together and whatnot. So the first match we have is a six-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Impact World Championship. The competitors we have are the Ultimate Finesse Chris Bay versus the Long Island Ice Z or whatever he's calling himself, Matt Cardona, versus Sami Callihan, the Draw, versus I guess the singular Motor City Machine Gun, Chris Sabin. Alex Shelley still he's nowhere around. Versus Trey Miguel versus Moose. Hey Rob Bates, who you got for this one, man?
Oh man, see, we were just talking about him like, 30 seconds ago. I'm going with my boy Moose. Moose gonna go in there and win. Now I do gotta say, if Moose doesn't win, I'm gonna pick Chris Bay. Chris Bay would be an alternate though. Man, those dudes, man, they go out there and just kill it, man. But I think Moose, he's gonna be the one that wins, and they end up, hopefully he ends up beating Omega. Get that belt back.
How about you, Drizzy? Who are you going with?
I'm going a little darker. I'm going with Sami Callihan.
Ooh.
Sammy, I feel like Sammy.
Okay, mind games.
I want to see that Sammy.
Mind games.
Sammy do that. Do everything he normally does with Kenny, because it's gonna make for good TV, and it's also gonna give him that. Kenny likes doing those deathmatch style stuff, and that's right up Sammy's alley. Plus, I'm doing it in hopes that John Moxley pops up and we see a Switchblade conspiracy reunion.
Ooh.
That's your fantasy booking though.
All right. Black Barbie, who you got? Should I call you Black Barbie or should I call you Ariel? Because I don't want to I don't want you to be correct.
Either way, it's fine with me.
I'm gonna call you because I don't feel. Okay. I mean, I'm black too, but I don't feel like calling a sister like Black Barbie.
It's okay. It's fine with me.
My bad.
Wow, because I want to say Moose because it seems like the logical answer. Because I'm gonna go with Moose, but I feel like they've been pushing Trey Miguel for a reason. So I feel like if it's not Moose. I was going to say Chris Bay would be the alternate, but no, I'm thinking it's Trey Miguel because they're going to try to make him happy because they brought him back. So it's definitely Moose, though. It's got to be.
Bernard, who you got, man?
My favorite is Chris Bay, but my pick is Moose. And because, like I said, he's got a great sense of momentum going for him. His character's great, and I just think for what they're doing for him in Impact, I just think his height is where it needs to be, and it's only going to ascend. So again, my favorite is Chris Bay. If I pick with my heart, it's Chris Bay. But if I pick with my head, I gotta go with Boost, man. He's doing his thing over there.
Right. Well, the man I'm going with, I'd have to say Moose, man. You know, I can't. I want to see that. I want to see Moose versus Kenny Omega, because and this is gonna test Kenny, because now Kenny has a bigger opponent. This ain't no cruiserweight Rich Swann. They can easily put up in, like, you know, a one-wing angel, and you got a big Nigerian brother right there. You know, let's see how you gonna do that. Let's see how you gonna put that guy in a one-wing angel.
Yeah.
I know one thing for sure: if Moose wins that title, his boy Apollo Crews is gonna be is gonna be celebrated, because, you know, they were boys back in Atlanta. So our next match we have is a 6-man tag team match. It's going to be Eddie Edwards and the team of Finn Juice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson, who are the current Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, versus The Elite. Yeah, right. What's this? The Elite. Kenny Omega, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson. I'm sorry. The only Elite I know is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That's something else right there. But yeah. Kenny Omega, they're going to be facing the Elite. Kenny Omega, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Don Callis is going to be at ringside. Rob, what you got for this one, man?
Man, as much as I want Omega and them to get beat, but yeah, I think they're going to win. You know what I mean? I think they're building up Omega to be like some dominant force, so then hopefully Moose can take him out.
How about you, Drizzy? Who you got?
I'm going with Eddie and Finn Juice. Kenny's got to take a loss somewhere, and this is the best way to do it. Let one of the Good Brothers get pinned, and like it's still a loss. Like, Kenny's been winning for way too long. He's got to take a loss somewhere along this line, and this is it right here.
Wait, you say Kenny's gonna take the L?
It's the only way that Kenny will take an L. Like, he'll take it. He won't physically take the pin, but they'll lose.
So one of the Good Brothers is gonna take the pin to lose the match?
Yeah.
Okay. And now that you say it like that, I would tend to agree, because it doesn't hurt Kenny. But because Impact needs this match for their sake, as far as a collective unit. Because, like I said, Kenny Omega's on fire. Like, he's not taking the L, but I don't think Impact Wrestling can take another L. So I think it's a safe way for them to get over without hurting Kenny Omega anyway.
Yeah, I think.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows. I don't know who's going to take the L. I'm assuming it'll be Anderson, because he's a smaller 3.
No, I think it's going to be Gallows.
If I was booking it, that's how I'd have it. So it can still make Kenny look strong at the end of the day. But that's the hard pill to swallow, that they don't lose. But I'm assuming that's how it'll go if they do.
Yeah, I think Gallows is going to eat the pin. And I think Kenny's going to, it's the only way Kenny's going to lose. But he's going to claim, I've never been pinned. I was never submitted.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
That's interesting. I mean, I would hope so, but I don't know if Big Gallows will take that. They'd have to do something really. They're gonna have to do a whole lot to Big Gallows and knock him down to make it believable for Impact with a Kenny Omega team, like, because he's a superstar. So
yeah, but I mean, the Good Brothers didn't get the belts back from Finn Juice.
Right.
So, I mean, they've proven they can beat them.
Yeah, it's an interesting take.
And then Eddie Edwards is John Cena in
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ariel, who are you going with? Who are you going for the 6-man tag team match?
I'm gonna pick Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice.
Okay. How about you, Bernard?
Say it again.
How about you? Who are you going for the 6-man tag team match?
Again, I want to say Anderson and Omega now, because I don't see how going forward Kenny will take that L lightly on his resume, especially for Impact. So that's why I'm taking. That's the only reason I'm taking them, because I'm looking at their record individually going forward. So I'm going to take them. I'm going to give them the W.
Awesome. I think it's honestly speaking, I got a feeling it's going to be Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice, but one of the good brothers is going to take the pin. One of them is going to take. Kenny's not going to take. I don't see Kenny taking that pin.
Right.
It'll make him look weak, and you don't want. And I'm pretty sure they don't want that. So they'll probably one of the good brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So the next match we have is the tag team match for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. We got the current defending champions Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering versus Fire and Flavor, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Rob, who going for that one?
Man, see, this is going to be a good match right here. I like both teams. I think Jordan Grace, didn't she just recently sign a contract? Re-up for seeing that, man. I think her and Rachel Ellering will hold the belts for a while. I think because of that they're going to hold the belts. But yeah, this match is going to be a good one. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering.
Jizzy, how about you, man? Who you got?
It is against my religion to root against Kiera Hogan and Tyler. I ride with them to death.
That's right.
So even when I know they're gonna lose, I'm still gonna say they're gonna win.
Fair enough.
How about you, Ariel? Who you got?
I'm going with the champs. They're retaining the titles. They just got them, and the momentum's with them right now. I love Fire and Flavor, but I think we might get I don't think they'll break up just yet, but I think we may get a breakup from Kiera and Tasha, because it's about time both of them go their separate ways and start going for the Knockouts title.
Okay.
Yeah, the first ever black female black tag team to hold the tag team belts for a major organization breaking up. You might be right on that. Just might be right on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going with Jordan Grace and Ellery too. I mean, they're hot. Like you said earlier, they just got the titles, and they need that momentum to continue to flow, especially for Impact Wrestling. So, I think they're gonna get the rub on this one.
Yeah, I think honestly, in my opinion, Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering are gonna retain. Although I would have rather Tessa Blanchard and Jordan Grace be tag team champions, but we all know that ain't gonna happen. We all know how that went. So I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole with Tessa Blanchard. That horse is dead and beaten to the point where you can't recognize it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. So the next match we have is a singles match. It's Willie Mack versus W. Morrissey, the former Colin Cassidy or Big Cass. Rob, who you going with, man?
Yeah, I'm going with Morrissey, man. Yeah, it's his first match and stuff back, man. I can't see him coming in and then getting beat right away. Oh, I got a little echo, man. Yeah. Willie Mack, man, he's gonna. Yeah, I think he'll put a beating on him, but Morrissey, yeah, I think he's gonna get the win. As long as Enzo don't come out, man, I can't stand that dude, man. As long as he don't come out, man, I'm good.
Wow, that dude, bro, that would be something. My name is whatever he's going by.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Oh, jeez. Can you imagine that guy coming out on the Impact?
Yeah. Hey, doing that little chicken dance whatever he did.
Right.
It could very well happen.
Yeah.
I just
Don't let me say
Impact,
anything
man. You never
because,
know. They might do it just for the ratings, man.
hey,
oh no.
don't let me say anything because I remember when we did the Royal Rumble prediction. I predicted that I playfully predicted that Christian was gonna come back for the Royal Rumble. Lo and behold, who showed up? Christian. I was like, I was just joking. Y'all didn't have to like make it happen. Like, damn. Jeez. Drizzy, who you got for this one, man?
He's 7 foot and you can't teach that. I'm going. Listen, I got no Cass. He just got there and they're making him look great. So it's a Morrissey. Can we give him a better name?
That's right. That's right.
Name is terrible.
Like,
Ariel, how about you? Who you got for this match?
I'm going with the collective. I'm going with everybody else because I think Willie Mack's on his way out. I feel like he may not be coming back. This might be one of his last matches. He may be moving on to somewhere else. So, I mean, I feel like they're going to give Morrissey the rub and Willie Mack's going to keep on moving.
Yeah, I got that feeling too, and what they're doing with Cass, like he's brand new, so I can't see him with the way that they're booking him or the way that he debuted to take the L so quickly. Like his debut was pretty impactful, and I think they're gonna try to do big things with him, given his height, given what he's done previously, given that people know his face. You know what I'm saying? So just he got too much momentum. He's got too many things that he can potentially do in the ring that are positive for him to take the L so quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with W Morrissey too, with Big Cass, because he's red hot right now, and I don't see him taking a loss anytime soon. And I think real soon, I don't know if he's affiliated with Biden by Design, but if he is, yeah, they're gonna run things real soon. I got a good feeling about that. So the next match we have is a singles match. Is going to be Black Taurus from Decay versus the most professional wrestler, my fellow New Yorker, Brian Myers. Rob, who you got for this one, man?
Oh, I'm going with Black Taurus on this one, man. I think he's going to go out there and tear him up. I mean, Brian Myers, I think he's at that point in his career where, you know, he's going to make everybody else look good, put them over and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Black Taurus on this one. Plus, I guess if that's your sign of Taurus, you know, I don't want them people coming after me, picking against him. So,
Just who we got for this one, man?
I'm gonna go with Black Taurus too. All right, double everything that Rob said. Brian, like they built him up enough to where beating him does something for you. So, I'm gonna say Black Taurus all the way.
Yeah, I can see that. Like you said earlier, man. Like the way that he's built and the way that the momentum and the storyline is going, I don't see how he could not get the win. But I mean, Impact can surprise us, but I don't see the way that he's being built and the way that he's moving forward that he'll take that L. So I think Taurus will get the rub.
Yeah, Black Taurus is winning. I mean, I think Brian is at that stage in his career, like Rob said, he's just putting people over at this point. But that's what you're supposed to do when you're in that later part of your career, is putting people over.
Right.
How about you, Bernardo? Who are you going with?
Yeah, like I said, I'm going with Taurus because, like I said, he's what he's doing right now is pretty great, and like Barbie said, like he's got to get the rub eventually. Like you got to like put people over when you're at the twilights of your career, and that's just what the wrestling industry does. So based on what we see and based on what we know, I think that's what happened.
I'm gonna be the one man, the odd man out, and I'm gonna have to go with Brian Myers. And the reason why is because Brian Myers has pulled off some stuff in the past. Granted, he's cheated, but he's actually been successful. I mean, he's done it with Jake something. He's done it with Matt Cardona. So I got a feeling he has something up his sleeve, and he's gonna get the win. So I'm gonna go with Brian Myers. Not because he's from New York either, but he's the kind of guy that he makes things like work for him. So I'm gonna have to go with him. So the next match we have is a singles match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. The defending champion, Deonna Purrazzo, is defending against Havoc. Rob, who you got for this one, man?
Yeah, didn't Deonna Purrazzo just recently kind of get it back, not long ago, just for a while. But, yeah, I'm going to go with her. Yeah, I think she's going to, win that. And, yeah, she's going to keep going around, defend that belt. Hopefully, Kiera Hogan, come, eventually, like y'all were saying earlier, she come out and get that belt, man. So, hopefully that'll happen, but I'm going to go with Deonna Purrazzo.
Same.
Drizzy, how about you, man? Who you got?
Same here. Deonna Purrazzo. They've made her into like a unstoppable force. Like I said, I love everything they're doing. They've built a division around her, and I love it. But around her and Jordan Grace and Fire and Flash,
yes,
that's like their core right there, and they're doing a great job. Low key, Impact's knockouts have kept them in business for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's why I keep telling people.
But they know how to market their women as the big deals. And that's what's been saving them for a long time. So I think Deonna Purrazzo just will keep on with that legacy.
I'm going with Deonna as well. Also because she was in AAA and she put her title on the line when it happens in December. So I don't want to see her I want to see her go against the AAA Women's Champion at Triple Mania in December, but she's gonna need to lose that belt and then get it back for that to happen. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Havoc. So
is it Havoc on her way out?
Nevaeh's already left. So
that might have been who it was. Never mind.
Yeah, Nevaeh left. Yeah, Nevaeh left. She wrestled for them. Like her last match was like her with Havoc. That was it. She's gone.
What? That must be because of her husband. Gotta be because of her husband.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Purrazzo too, but I don't mind Havoc. Like I like her wrestling ability is great. It's just like the momentum and the way that she's built. I just don't see how at this moment she'll take the fall. So I'm gonna go with Purrazzo too.
Plus, Deonna beating her.
I'm gonna go with Deonna Purrazzo. The one thing I want to see Havoc do, and I don't know if it's ever gonna happen again. I want to see Havoc. So when Havoc first started wrestling, she had a team called Team Be Jealous, and that was her and Allison Kay, who was in last I checked, she was in NWA. But I want to see those two reunite. They were a very formidable tag team. That's the only thing I want to see Havoc do right now is reform that tag team, and they win those tag team titles. But other than that, I mean, I don't see Havoc win this title. I mean, maybe they might put it on her, maybe they won't, but I don't see it happening. So I'm gonna definitely go with Deonna Purrazzo. So the last match we have here is a singles match for the Impact X Division Championship. It's going to be defending champion Josh Alexander, don't call me Kurt Angle Jr., versus El Fantasmo. Rob, who you got for this one, man?
Man, see, I want to pick El Fantasmo, but I'm like, yo, Impact can't have let everybody going and winning all their belts and all that stuff, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Josh Alexander winning this one. But it's going to be an awesome match, man. I love me some El Fantasmo, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to go with Josh Alexander on this one.
Oh, man.
That's...
What you got, Disney?
Let me. Oh man, that match is gonna steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also.
I don't doubt you.
It hurts me to sit there and say that El Fantasmo is not gonna win this belt, just because the world title is on somebody from another company. The tag title from us are somebody another company. But the X Division title is the true gem of Impact Wrestling. That's the one belt they definitely cannot afford to let somebody from another company just take. So, and plus they've been building with Josh Alexander. They've taken this slow burn to get him going. Like I at least say by this time next year he'll be going for the world title. But this is just a step forward. So he has to be El Fantasmo.
I'm gonna go. Okay, so number one, Impact cannot keep letting people like chump them for their
Take their
change.
cookies.
I know.
Right? These other companies cannot be Debo and come in and steal their chain, and then they go cry in the car because if he loses his belt Impact needs to go cry in the car. That's my hot take on it. Go cry in the car. My grandmama bought me that chain. See,
That's right. I was about to say
that.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with this. Like it's we can't not if you want us to take us, you want fans to take y'all seriously as an organization. Y'all can't keep getting punked by like, hey, at first
Right.
I thought, and we had this discussion before, like I thought that the merger, I'm gonna put that in light quotations now. In hindsight, I'm putting that in light quotations because I thought the merger was gonna be good for wrestling. It's like what I'm seeing ain't what was advertised. Now, it's great wrestling, but y'all can't keep taking these L's, man. Like at what point are we gonna sit here and be like, okay, Impact, y'all did a great job. How many participation trophies y'all won? You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's got to win this match. He's got to win this match.
Just beware the boot. That boot's loaded.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Josh Alexander. He's come a long way, and I definitely don't see him losing that title anytime soon. I mean, yeah, El Fantasmo is he's a great wrestler and whatnot. I've seen him in Wrestle Kingdom and so on, but Josh Alexander, I've always been impressed by Josh Alexander. I remember when I first saw him back in 2013 when him and Ethan Page wrestled Red Dragon for their titles. They didn't win the match, but they were very impressive. I remember when Josh Alexander got the hot tag, he was like a house of fire. Like there was no stopping that guy. So I'm gonna have to go with Josh Alexander. He's definitely a future Impact World Champion, and yeah, he's not losing this match anytime. He's not losing the match at all. What would be great is if Kurt Angle were to come back and be a mentor to him, but
can El Fantasmo afford a loss?
I don't know.
Because what did he just win? He just won the Best of the Super Juniors, right? Or no, was it Super J? He just won something.
Super J. Oh yeah. Oh man.
It seemed like it was forever ago, but he just won something.
Yeah, these pandemic days, man, they all come together to me.
I want to say
that's a whole nother gig right there, man.
I want to say it's Best of the Super Juniors.
Just a blur.
I'm not sure if he can afford a loss. But that's also me trying to justify him winning. So,
but Impact can't take another loss either. Then after all, the only belts left are the women's titles, and then and God forbid, what if somebody from AEW, the women's, come over and try to take their titles? Impact's done.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, as fans, ask us to keep taking y'all seriously if y'all keep taking these losses.
Stay with me. I'm having
especially the rival. Like, it's a partnership. Like I said, in quotation marks. But y'all taking these losses.
Hold on, stay with me. My brain's going. What if this is just a way for them to get a rebrand?
Say it again.
What if this is just a way for them to get a rebrand? They rebrand everything.
As
Yo,
like
you might be
how?
onto something there.
I'm hearing you. Yeah, explain it.
Like, so all the belts are gone. Somebody's taking all of them, and then Scott D'Amore and them are like, you know what? That part is dead. We're gonna bring back TNA or something like along those lines. Or here's something completely new. This is
okay.
just a
See,
brand new everything.
See, Drizzy playing chess. We playing checkers over here.
I know.
Okay.
But
That's
Playing
right.
chess. We playing checkers. I like that. I like
how
that.
many times are we gonna see them say, "Okay, we're rebranding again. We're gonna be all blue. We're rebranding again. We're gonna have the six side ring. We're gonna rebrand again.
Oh, you go
No
back to
more
the 6-side ring.
We're gonna be regular." Like, how many times have we seen them say we're gonna rebrand, and all of a sudden it's like the same thing? It's like, it's not a matter of rebranding. It's a matter of like just being consistent, man. Like, I
would agree.
The reason
it always works. It always works though. I don't understand why. This company should have been dead a while ago. But they slap on a coat of paint, they got fans again.
And I'm thinking it'll be successful if we call it that because of the merger. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think they can get away with it with the merger, with the AEW superstars in the mix.
I mean, I don't want Impact to get closed down, because I mean, that's men and women that got bills to pay and so on. I mean, any wrestling fan, I mean, unless of course, like, you know, Scott D'Amore is like a jerk, and he did something to some people that was some things to some people that were unsavory. I don't want him to close down, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, you know, something's got to give, man. I mean, I know every company has problems, but Impact is like, they're kind of doing certain things wrong, and what they should have done. I don't know if it's like an exposure thing for them, but I don't see it benefiting them that much either. I mean, even I listened to Sir Wilkins from Jobber Tuesday, and he was like the same thing. He's like, yeah, this is not really benefiting Impact. It's more benefiting Kenny Omega. You know,
I shot him an idea of what possibly that could have been, and that was me fancy booking too. I sat there and said he goes and gets everybody's belt, and then he comes to New Japan to get the belt from Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay loses, say it's a Wrestle Kingdom type situation where he sits there on the first night and faces Kota Ibushi. Kota gets the belt, and then the second night is Kenny versus Kota for the belt, and Kenny's never beat Kota Ibushi. So let's say Kota beats Kenny, everybody gets their belts back, and it's a hard reset for everybody. And everybody is having tournaments to crown new world champions. And this gives you a chance to get people that don't normally get that world title exposure. But that's me thinking way too deep into it.
I do like that idea. That's a good idea right there, man. Kenny Omega lose, and then everybody get their, bam, it all resets.
And you know Kenny will take the loss.
Yeah.
But see, you're not wrong. But will AEW allow Kenny to take the loss? We know Kenny will take the loss for the wrestling business.
But they have no choice.
Will AEW let him take the loss for the wrestling business? Will Tony Khan? Will Khan let him take the L?
Is he losing the AEW title? That would be the question. If he's not losing the AEW title, Tony Khan and them are not going to care.
He can. When I pitched it, I thought he'd lose all belts. So AEW, this gives you your chance to get Darby Allin in the title into a title tournament. Jungle Boy, MJF,
Luchasaurus.
Cody in there just because. No, we're not going Cody in there. Cody can't go. Cody wins everything. No,
that's right.
Plus Cody out here in his.
Give Wardlow a chance. That's all. Give Wardlow a chance.
Yeah.
Like, it gives a whole bunch of people a chance to go after the world title.
Yeah.
That's a dream scenario. I'm not sure if he catches the world title, the NWA title and the MLW title, I will wholeheartedly believe that's what's going to be the end game. But that's
MLW. If Kenny Omega?
Nah,
he ain't winning that title. If Jacob Fatu still the champion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't touching that title. Kenny Omega got to go somewhere else.
And Jacob's
Jacob Fatu.
He's due for a loss. He's been champion since 2019 when he beat Tom Lawler.
Hey, if Kenny Omega gets that title from Jacob Fatu, he's gonna be bloody. I'm telling you, he's gonna show up with bandages the next time. Jacob Fatu ain't no slouch.
I don't doubt that at all. Jacob Fatu is a monster. But this also gives a way to get the belt off Jacob Fatu.
I saw some fan that was stupid enough, and I've seen Samoans like in person. They're big people. Like they're cool people. I've never met an aggressive Samoan, but they're cool people to meet. And I've seen some fan. I don't know what. I can only hope he was drinking or something. He provoked Jacob Fatu, and then he showed him the middle finger. I don't know if y'all saw the clip, and he pushed him back into the crowd. Like he smacked the crap out of that fan. And the fan tried to get up, and Jacob threw like some chair or something on him. Yeah, that guy don't play, man.
That's right.
He looked like an aggressive Umaga. He looked just like Umaga.
Yeah,
Yes.
Umaga.
He looked exactly like Umaga.
Yeah.
Even when we had his because he has his Fatu's and the Anawai's. We had Vali Anawai on our show. She's over in Florida, and she was like, "Yeah, he's a trip." She told us some good stories about his family and so on too. But yeah, I don't see Kenny beating that guy, man. Kenny's not happening. But I mean, he's definitely making a name for himself. I'll give him that.
Right.
Kenny's definitely making a name for himself, and in a way, he deserves it. Because I mean, people may say, "Oh, he's overrated." No, I think Kenny's one of the best workers in the game. I mean, he can work with anybody. He can work with Roman Reigns. He could work with Bobby Lashley. He could work with anybody. I mean, that's what makes him a great person. Is he the best? No, he's one of the best. But say the best would be to say, well, okay, what the heck is Seth Rollins? We just talked about Jacob Fatu. You got people that are up and coming, like Josh Alexander. Heck, even Moose is a bit impressive. Moose has agility, like for Moose, he's pretty agile for a big guy. So yeah, Kenny's definitely one of the best. All right. So with that being said, I just gotta say, y'all got any final thoughts on the pay-per-view?
It'll not be a good show. That 6-man is gonna be a knockdown drag out. I'm really looking forward to that Josh Alexander El Fantasmo match though.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's gonna be match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm waiting on that.
That's probably my most anticipated match. The card up from top to bottom looks pretty great, and I think it's gonna bring it. So, yeah, that's my go-to match.
Yeah. I want that Fantasmo match. And
Yeah,
I'm also excited for the women's tag team match too, man. I want to see them go. Them ladies always tear it up. Can't go wrong, Kiera Hogan.
At all. Can't go wrong ever.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that match as well. But like I said, the six man is what I'm actually looking for. The six-way match. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing as well. I'm very interested in seeing who's going to win that match this Saturday as well. It's going to be very interesting. All right. So with that being said, I just got to say, Drizzy, Ariel, Bernard, Power Up Powerbombs Podcast. I got to say, hey, really and truly, I appreciate we on behalf of myself, Rob Bass, and Kathy Knights, who unfortunately couldn't be here because she's on a crazy misadventure these days. What is she up to?
I don't know what she's up to, and she, she's saving orphanages and stuff. You know what I mean? Like Kane and Kung Fu. That's all I know.
Yeah, but on behalf of myself and Rob Bass and Kathy Knight. We just gotta say, we really and truly appreciate y'all, coming on our show and just shooting the breeze about wrestling. We know y'all probably got other things going on. We know y'all got y'all's own podcast to record, but we really and truly appreciate y'all doing this for us as well. But with that being said, it's about that time. My eyelids are getting heavy, so that means it's time for me to take a nap and get ready for work tomorrow. But before we do that, each of y'all, where y'all at on social media?
Bernard, go first.
All right. Well, I'm just Bernard Minge on Facebook and Instagram. And then obviously we're all out Power Ups and Power Bombs on Facebook and Instagram. I don't have like a Twitter or nothing like that. So I follow a little I look at the little clips and stuff, but yeah, mostly just Facebook and Instagram for me at Bernard Minge.
You want me to go next, Trey?
Yeah, same word.
Okay. Okay, cool. I am at IG and Twitter at BlackBarbie116. I'm also on Facebook as Ariel Cottrell, and I'm also in the Sheer Geekdom group that's on Facebook as well.
All right. You can find me on IG at BIGDRYZZY502 and our Instagram page, Power Up Powerbombs, one word, and on Twitter at PUPB Podcast.
Awesome. Y'all make sure y'all follow these three cool people, these three great people that are doing great things. I got to listen to that podcast about supporting Black women. That I know I haven't listened, but I already know that's going to be an interesting episode. Y'all definitely go ahead and listen to their podcast and so on. I mean, still listen to us, but listen to theirs as well too, because we're cool like that. I mean, we listen. We entered that forbidden door. We don't mind having fellow podcasters on here to promote their stuff. It's all love with us. I listen to other podcasts too. I mean, let's be honest. Who wants to eat Frosted Flakes every day, every morning? Sometimes you want some Cocoa Puffs. Sometimes you want some Lucky Charms. Heck, I'm a sucker for some Cinnamon Toast Crunch right after I have some Fruit Loops. So hey, definitely check out different podcasts, man. Check out Power Ups and Power Bombs and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get mad at y'all if y'all do. Rob Bass, how about you, man? We got on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_Bass82, and then everywhere else, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, Rob Bass.
Awesome. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything interesting to say. I gotta get off the caffeine. You can find me on Twitter at @TheRemyBlue. I don't have a lot of interesting stuff to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll catch me on a good day and you'll hear something. But our podcast on Instagram is on at Ringside Society, and our podcast is also on Twitter at Ringside Society. And our podcast is also on Facebook. Yes, we have a Facebook group. Facebook groups are cool again. Not that they never were, but if you guessed our Facebook group name is Ringside Society, you guessed correctly, but we don't have anything to give away right now. Maybe next time. So make sure you follow. Make sure you join our Facebook group. Check out our follow our Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Also, we have a YouTube channel where this episode is being streamed right now. So make sure you actually subscribe to us. We have a lot of interesting, interviews. I mean, we have former WWF Women's Tag Team Champion Princess Victoria. We had Jasmine Allure, who's killing it on AEW. We just had Paige's mom, Soraya Knight. If you ever want to know what the Attitude Era episode of our whole brand is, listen to that interview. Yeah, it's that intense.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of more interesting people. We have our first ever 15 minutes of fandom that we did on our YouTube, which was all the way in the Philippines. Shout out to Judy Conda. Check us out, man. We got a lot of interesting stuff and more prediction episodes like this coming up as well, and more. But we just want to thank everybody that actually listened to us tonight live. We really truly appreciate it. And to those of you that are going to listen to us later on, thank you in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we go away and take our merch with us, which is on Teespring. Support us. All proceeds go to keeping this show afloat. Well, I'm sorry. We're sorry you feel like that, but like Rob on a Pokemon journey, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping. But we are ringside. So I just want everybody to know that we here and understand that everybody and their parents, or everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. Well, we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. Come to think about it, Rob, we're not just a podcast. We're not. We are not the same. Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the Power Up Powerbomb Podcast.
Woo!
Tell the people, what type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, and we will be back this Sunday with a special guest. That's right, he is a graduate of Class 2 from the Nightmare Factory down in Georgia. We're going to be having the family man, Aaron Kirk. That's right, he was on that student showcase too, and you know, he'll be here with us live to shoot the breeze about his journey into becoming a professional wrestler. But until then, during this pandemic, y'all stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other. And Rob, what is my next part I'm going to say?
Say what?
What is the next part I'm going to say?
Be excellent, man. Be excellent. Be excellent.
You already missed it. But be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all.
Peace.
Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.